today's video we'll be trying out a new kind of writing exercise. What I'll be doing is I'll take a scene from a movie, in today's case it would be The Joker, and I'll try to write that scene on my own. I'll write a screenplay for that particular scene only and then compare with the original screenplay that the original writers wrote. I think the purpose of the video will be to compare how an aspiring writer and a new writer like me writes in comparison to a professional writer who has been in the industry for a while. We'll compare it, see the contrast between both styles of writing, and then try to learn from it. So let's quickly get down to the video. Let's look at the scene first and then I'll get down to writing the scene. So I wanted to point out a few things that I realized while I was editing this video that need to be said. The first thing is, the intention of these videos is to learn small tips and tricks from these screenplays. The videos that we are going to be making in the future, or this video itself, is to learn small things that writers do, individual writers do, the distinct things that writers do, and pick up on those small tips and tricks, maybe learn a few formatting tricks. These videos are not probably going to help somebody's storytelling abilities or story structuring abilities or to write conflict or the bigger things that are part of the screenplay. The intention of this video and the other videos that we are going to be making in the future is to learn small tips and tricks. That's all. The second thing I wanted to point out was I have watched the movie before, so that is going to affect the way I write, but I have not read the screenplay. I do not intend to cheat and I have not cheated, and that will be pretty clear once you look at the final output. The last thing that I wanted to point out was there will be few grammatical or spelling mistakes. This is the first draft, and while making the video you kind of get lost in the process and might miss out these things, so I hope you will forgive me for that. Okay, enough chatter. Let's look at the scene now.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
It is certainly tense. People are upset. They're struggling, looking for work. These are tough times. How about you? Have you been keeping up with your journal?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Did you bring it with you? Arthur, last time I asked you to bring your journal with you for these appointments. Can I see it?
I've been using it as a journal, but also as a joke diary. Funny thoughts or observations. I think I told you I'm pursuing a career in stand-up comedy.
No, you didn't.
I think I did.
I just hope my death makes more sense than my life. How does it feel to have to come here? Does it help to have someone to talk to?
I think I felt better when I was locked up in the hospital.
And have you thought more about why you were locked up?
Who knows? I was wondering if you could ask the doctor to increase my medication.
Arthur, you're on 7 different medications. Surely they must be doing something.
I just don't want to feel so bad anymore.
Let me just make up a new document, call it Joker Scene 1. So it's an interior scene. I think I'm gonna call it the therapist's office, something like that. And it sounds like morning, so I'm just gonna write morning. So yeah, it starts with him uncontrollably laughing, so I think I can translate that to we see Arthur uncontrollably laughing at the end of the desk. So I'm writing it off the top of my head, but we're definitely gonna be coming back to it once I'm done with the scene, so don't judge me for the first draft. It's gonna be bad. We see Arthur uncontrollably laughing at the end of a desk. He's definitely playing on a joke as it does. To kind of explain the office in a messy government therapist office. God, I can't spell gov. Oh, I missed an N. God damn it. Okay. In the background, we can hear the noise of a working suburban city, something like that. Takes him a minute to grab his. Takes a minute to stop and grab his breath back. Then there's the first dialogue of the scene. Is it just me? Oh, is it just me, or is it getting crazier out there? It is certainly tense out there. Certainly tense. But this is just, at this point, just me listening to the dialogue and just transcribing it. I don't want to be wrong anymore. I'm gonna just listen to it again. It's like I'm the subtitle artist for this movie. Arthur takes... I mean, how do you write a cigarette puffing scene? Takes a puffin? That sounds wrong. Arthur takes a puffin. Smokes a puff from his cigarette. Why is there a red underline below? Ma'am, what the hell do you want? You want me to write it like Old England or what? What the hell is this? Okay, that's how I have to write yes ma'am now? Just so I can get rid of that annoying red line. This third doesn't sound right. I'll just write Arthur smokes a cigarette and smiles hesitantly. That's what I'll write. And smiles hesitantly. I have been using this as a journal, and he takes a pause.
I've been using it as a journal, but also as a joke diary. Funny thoughts or observations.
What? Funny thoughts or what? What did he say?
Funny thoughts or observations.
What? Facials? What? I should be hacked. No, it will be fun without the subtitles, I think. Me trying to just understand what he just said. Funny thoughts or phrases. Why does it sound like facial? Funny thoughts or facials. Phrases. Let's just write phrases and see what it actually is. God damn it. Let's get back to the scene. She shuffles through the journal full of scribbles. Untidy scribbles, I think that's kind of more descriptive. It's full of untidy scribbles. in some pornographic images. Is that how you write it? I can't spell pornographic. Are you kidding me? Is this not the right spelling? If I can't spell pornographic, I think I'm done. What the hell is the spelling? Pornographic is not... What? Is it a capital P? Is that... What is happening? Pornographic. Now Google's gonna think I'm searching for pornographic. Fuck you, man. You just had me doubting if I can spell pornographic. Pornographic. Fuck you, red line. Observation room. Arthur is banging his head against his head against the door of a mental asylum. Observation room. Trying to break through the glass. Almost trying to break through. So it doesn't. Almost trying to break through the glass. And I have to put a dot. Is that... Whoa. Therapist's house? Is that what I wrote? What? The first thing that I wrote is wrong. Private room. Therapist's room. Shit. Therapist's room. Oh, we're done. Shit. That was good. Let me just read through it one more time. Okay. Let me just export it and get a PDF out. Then let's compare it. Time for some comparison. Oh, shit. Everything is falling apart. Everything is falling apart. Oh, god damn. Oh, I don't think I feel my leg anymore. Jesus. Okay, let's start. Okay, the first thing that I noticed is the slug line is in bold, and in my case it's not. So it says Interior Department of Health Office Morning. Okay, I think I saw a DEH on the door in the background. So the therapist room just sounds stupid now. I don't think it should have been Department of Health. I don't think it matters that much, but yeah. The comma office thing is kind of interesting. I didn't know that you could do that. That's interesting. That's something to remember. The thing that I noticed is they have introduced the character in this scene, but in the movie, that is not the first scene. The first scene is the chase scene where he's running away from those bullies. So I didn't think of it as an introduction scene, so I think I missed that. I'll at least read through it. I think introducing a character is also it's a difficult task, I think, to do it properly, and I think you can clearly see how well they've done it. I like how they are just mentioning the age in a bracket, not wasting any more time. I think I was writing a screenplay once and I was struggling with how to define the age of a person. I think the bracket thing works really well. I think that's something to learn. He's definitely in pain and almost chokes as he laughs. It takes him a minute to stop and grab his breath back. What they did was she just sits behind a desk waiting for his laughing fit to end. She's been through this before. Finally it subsides. So they say, is it just me or is it getting crazier out there? And crazier is underlined, which I think helps you put pressure on that word. I think that's the point of that dialogue. So that's one thing to learn. Social worker. Okay, they wrote social worker, I wrote therapist. Despite the laughter, there's real pain in his eyes. Something broken in him, looks like he hasn't slept in days. Oh man, this is so much better. I wrote, he's definitely in pain and almost chokes as he laughs, which doesn't express the expression that he had, right? But they do it through this line, "There's real pain in his eyes, something broken in him, looks like he hasn't slept in days," which is fantastic. So, yeah, there's something to learn. Okay. Joker dodging the subject. I'm sorry, did I bring what? Okay. So they changed this part, but yeah, he was kind of dodging the subject. I think that didn't, like, because they wrote a dialogue, so they had to write dodging the subject, but in the movie it was quite clear that he was hesitant. So that's what I wrote, but instead they wrote dodging the subject. So it kind of makes sense, but yeah. Okay. She's written a complete line in the parenthetical. She doesn't have time for this. This is kind of new. I've never seen that before in a screenplay. He reluctantly reaches into his bag, pulls out a weather notebook, slides it across to her. Okay, I didn't explain the notebook. I think I should have done that. I think they define the notebook, which is seems kind of important, of how much he uses that notebook for jokes or whatever. Like the kind of scribbles that he had, it looks like it was really weathered. So I think that's kind of covered really nicely in the original one. I've been using it as a journal, but also as a joke diary, funny thoughts or observations. What? He doesn't say observations. That is just bullshit.
Funny thoughts or observations.
Observations? Holy shit. I don't phrase this. Oh shit. This is wrong. What is this phrase? Okay, it works. I mean, observations, yeah, makes sense. Social worker gives him a look, then reads something in the pages that gives her a pause. Okay, I just wrote, she stops at a bolded phrase, which this is the first point where I feel that my line is a little better, I think. She stops at a bolded phrase. While they wrote, the social worker gives him a look and then reads something in the page that gives her a pause. Reading out loud, I just hope my death makes more sense than my life. It was sense there, was it not? Sense. It says sense. I think they changed it. Okay. This was a fun little exercise. A lot to learn. You can see clearly, like, the only issue that I saw was the original scene in the movie and the script is kind of different, and I think we will see that a lot in the future videos that I intend to make. But there was still a lot to learn and to compare. It was a fun little exercise. I think I learned a lot. Hope you guys did too. I think the one thing that I regret is introducing the characters that I didn't do at all. I wish I'd done that. That would have been a good practice as well, but I think if you look at this section of where they introduce the character, I think that's done really well. And we'll just ignore the part that was not in the movie. But there's still a lot of things to learn from there as well. The dialogues are pretty precise and nice. So you can go through this section again, look at the movie, try it yourself if you want to. I think it was good for me. I think I did not a very terrible job. I think it was okay. Could have been a little better, like explaining the book, explaining the journal, explaining the characters, explaining the social worker. That's something that should have been definitely done. I didn't do that at all. So, and other than that, I think it was okay. I think these are some points that I thought were missing, but still, I'm happy with what I did. I'll be doing another scene. I think I'll be in total doing 3 scenes. This was just the first part. I think I'll do another one from the middle of the movie and then another one from the end. So stick around for that if you want. Subscribe. I know it's hard to subscribe to a new channel. It's not an easy thing to do. But if you found this entertaining, you'll definitely find the future videos that I have planned fun as well. So stick around for that. I'll have 2 more parts with the same concept of trying to write a scene and then comparing with the original. So stick around for that. I'll see you in the next part. Thanks for watching. It says 11:10 here as well. And why does it say 11:10? Is that some kind of symbolic, metaphorical thing? It's the exact same time in the office. Does it signify that nothing has changed for Arthur? The time is still the same for him. even in the therapist office. That's why he says, I felt better there. It's not very different for him. And he even felt better in this room when he's banging his head on the glass.